They're coming after AR and AK style pistols. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. It is super early here, but this news has to get out, and I'm hoping that you will spread it far and wide. There was a letter penned by 109 members of Congress yesterday to Joe Biden asking him to take executive action. I'm going to put this letter on the screen right here. I'm going to read it. Let's see what it says and discuss it. It says, "Dear President Biden, the House Gun Violence Prevention Task Force calls on you to take strong executive action to address serious inequities in the implementation of the National Firearms Act, which is the federal law regulating the manufacture, transfer, and possession of certain classes of firearms. For too long, gun manufacturers, in order to circumvent the National Firearms Act, have designed and marketed concealable AR-15 style firearms which fire rifle rounds. Concealable assault-style firearms that fire rifle rounds pose an unreasonable threat to our communities and should be fully regulated under the National Firearms Act, consistent with the intent and history of the law. The recent tragedy in Boulder, Colorado, where 10 people, including a police officer, were killed, is one in a string of deadly incidents involving this style of weapon. On February 6, 2019, Milwaukee officer Matthew Rittner was killed by an AK-47 style concealable weapon while trying to execute a search warrant. Later that year, on August 4th, 2019, a concealable .223 caliber AR-15 style firearm was used to kill 9 people and injure 17 others in Dayton, Ohio in less than a minute. The National Firearms Act has proven to be extremely effective in preventing crimes with the classes of particularly dangerous firearms. It regulates through a system requiring a background check, submission of photo identification and fingerprints, and registration of the firearm with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The 1934 law sought to regulate certain weapons because of their frequent use in crime. Some of the features exploited by criminals and included for enhanced regulation under the NFA include sawed-off shotguns, rifles with short barrels, and weapons with high capacity or firing like machine guns. The concealability and availability to use ammunition capable of penetrating body armor make these firearms especially dangerous on our streets and for law enforcement personnel. We thank you for your commitment to preventing gun violence and urge you to immediately promulgate regulations to cover these concealable assault firearms under the National Firearms Act." This was written by Mike Thompson, who is the chair of the House Gun Violence Prevention Task Force, and there are 109 people who are supposed to be representatives of the people, all the people, not just those who are drinking the Kool-Aid on their anti-gun agenda. But you can see the names here as I put them on the screen. You can pause if you need to go through them more to find your alleged member of the House. But there you have it. 109 people signed a letter to Joe Biden asking him to put AR-AK style pistols and similar weapons into the NFA and thus regulated by the ATF. Here it comes, guys and gals. There's a big push. They never, ever let a tragedy go to waste, and they're going to use the efforts of one person who is hell-bent on causing pain and violence. They're going to use that against everybody else. For some reason, that's how this country has evolved over the last 30, 40 years, where it used to be like the majority would rule. Now we got the one person makes a mistake and everybody pays. It's almost like kindergarten or boot camp all over again. But there we go. I just want you guys to know I'll have a link down below to this letter if you would like to read it on your own or share it with some folks, because that would be awesome. This news absolutely has to get out. I was just looking at my statistics for March on YouTube, and the view numbers are down by 45%. So that means 45% less of people in the gun community are getting the news, which is why I humbly ask you all to help. Please share this information, hit that like button, and subscribe to Guns and Gadgets. This is where you're going to find all the Second Amendment news, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, no matter when or where it happens. And until we see each other again, please be safe, stay vigilant, absolutely carry a weapon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.